So I thought to do a very quick video today. We had an event at the weekend and I'm just cleaning up some of my gear. And I've noticed over the last few months this particular spear socket here is just starting to wobble a little bit. So I'm going to pack it out with some fibres or something inside. Now this is actually found on a spearhead from Woodstown, where they've found unwoven fibres just inside the spear socket itself, which is probably for a similar purpose to this. But it's likely that spear hafts would break from time to time, and so spear shafts would need replacing as well as jobs like this. And it's my contention that these unusual projecting rivets here that are found on particularly type I and F spearheads, although there's a weird hybrid one from Cumbria type K with some on too, are just for exactly this sort of purpose, to enable quick replacement of a spearhead, or easy replacement of a spearhead. Of course, if you rivet flush, as people do on modern spearheads, that's nice and safe for us. That's not so much of a problem back then when you're trying to kill somebody. But it does mean you have to drill it out. It's not particularly easy to remove. And of course, back then they don't have electric drills to do that, so it's a bit more of a problem. All I did with these was basically just make a small hole through the shaft itself, a little bit smaller than the diameter of these, and then hammer them straight through. They've stayed in place for a long time now, perfectly secure, looks fantastic, and I'll show you how easy they are to move and replace with this one here. So if I just move the camera down, all I basically need to do is give it a whack like that, and then pull it out. Off comes the spearhead. And you can see on this one I have shaped the socket with a little step at the end so that the socket is actually flush with the shaft, which is how the vast majority of early medieval spearheads seem to have been mounted from the sort of Viking age particularly. So it's simple as that, and all I need to do now is just put a little bit of plant material in there or around here and wedge it back on again and hammer this back through, and it's good to go. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of arguments about whether there was missing elements of these, these rivets that go through, whether we're missing a component, or whether something else was done, an organic element. But I don't believe that's the case. I think they were just hammered through quite simply like that. They don't fall out. I've never lost one. I've travelled all over with them, and they do the job just perfectly. And I should imagine if anyone tried to grab hold of the spear shaft, pulling that back through their hands would be fairly brutal as well, to add insult to injury.